WCTC on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at 1450 WCTC. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
Think we could listen to the radio or something?
On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
All right, it's 8:07. It's hour number 3 of Jersey Central. On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. It is Bert. Welcome in. Before I introduce my special guest who is here, and wow, are we in for a great hour. So we're going to get to her in just a second. Let's do our contest as promised. I got one pair of tickets left to give away for a show that is coming to State Theater, New Jersey on October 29th, Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Two very funny people, Brad Garrett and Rita Rudner, will be there together. It's a 7 o'clock show. Tickets and information at stnj.org. He, of course, you know from Everybody Loves Raymond and years of being a great stand-up comic. And Rita Rudner, best-selling author and, of course, a very funny comedian, too. 14th caller right now, 732-545-9282 or 888-545-9282. Will win my final pair of tickets to the October 29th show at State Theater with Brad Garrett and Rita Rudner. Call now. Good luck to you. My special guest, I don't know if we could possibly contain everything that she has to offer in an hour. I don't know if that's possible. She walked in here and handed me her brand new book, which she signed in advance. Great move, so I have that now. She is an estate planning attorney. She is a speaker. She is an author. She is a rising superstar lawyer. And it says right here on the back of the book, this isn't like something I made up. But my special guest who is here for what's going to be a very informative and entertaining hour, Natalie Alisha, is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bert. Thank you so much for having me.
So cool to have you here. And I'm sorry that your partner in crime could not join us this morning. I understand that powerful Jersey attorney Carolina Denhard, who was a longtime guest, longtime friend of mine, too, waking up a little under the weather today, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, she's an amazing woman.
She reached out to me this week and said, do I have a great guest for you? Wait until you meet Natalie when I bring her in. And then she messaged me this morning that she couldn't come in. But we'll get her back on very soon. But I'm so glad that you could be with us here as well. Let's get to know a little bit about you before we dive into your book here, which thank you so much for that. Talk about Natalie Alisha. What do you want people to know about you?
Great. So when I was a 15-year-old kid, I was hit by a catastrophic accident, which was a drag racing car. Quite literally hit me as a pedestrian at 60 miles an hour. I survived that miraculously. I had many broken bones, was in a wheelchair, and from that moment, I realized I was going to live an extraordinary life and give back. That's what the book is all about. It's about giving back. I ended up doing college in 2 years, law school in 2.5, full scholarship, full ride. And as we know, student loans are the major epidemic today. And when I came out as an attorney at 23 years old, I realized what is the area of law that I can feel good about. And estate planning, as morbid as it sounds, people don't want to talk about death and dying. It's part of the life process. So what if I could actually make sure that people's legacy lived through and they weren't incarcerated by student loan debt and they weren't worrying constantly about what's life going to hold, and they could have open and honest conversations like, listen, kid, I love you, and here's the money that you're going to get, which no one does because it's so awkward to talk about death and dying, but it's a natural course. We cannot beat death. Really good attorneys, we can beat taxes sometimes.
Right.
Just ask Trump's attorneys, right?
Okay, right.
But we can't beat death. So people don't ever want to talk about it, but really it's a part of life. And if we look through the life process, how much better off would we be? That's what my book is about. That's what my life mission is about in my practice and in my speaking.
Wow. And you're right. Father Time and death are the undefeated champion. You're right. No one has been able to beat Father Time and death just yet, right?
I'm working on a really good algorithm, which is very millennial of me to do, Bert, but I haven't figured it out yet.
If anybody can do it, it's you. I've known you for 10 minutes, and already I think what I've seen you've changed the world already, and I think you're just getting started with changing the world with everything you're going to accomplish.
Thank you.
Where for the obstacles and the hurdles you've overcome already, and just fast-tracking, really. I could tell you're very dedicated and very passionate about what you do, and I can see why you've been so successful at such a young age. I'm not surprised.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's all about giving back. You know, when you can help a family save every dollar they've ever made, that means something to them. That's everything.
Yeah. And it's really true, and you've seen it, being a giving person that you are. When you give, you get it back tenfold. People don't see that part of the equation, but it's true. You're living proof that it's true.
Listen, it's energy. It can't be destroyed. It's just transferred. So we transfer good stuff. Good stuff comes back right into boomerang.
That is awesome. Wow. And it's so good that you're here, by the way. So thank you. And your friend has an event coming up that I told her I'd get a mention in for, too. But let's talk about a little bit about the estate planning stuff. Some changes recently here in Jersey.
Yep.
Now, everybody saw the 23 cent a gallon price thing happen last year. And what are we getting back for this? Well, there was a little cut to the sales tax. That's fine. The big change in this has to do with the future of estate taxes here in Jersey. Can you just give us the latest on that?
They raised the estate tax exemption this year to about $2 million and change per person, which is lovely. It's a pretty substantial increase from what was $625,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking to phase that out in Jersey as of 2018. So for all the listeners, just don't die this year. You have a few more months.
Tough it out one more year if you can. Right.
And it's really amazing because think about it, Bert. You know, you buy a piece of property 20 years ago for $20,000 or $30,000, and today it's worth $1 million.
Right.
So everyone has an estate tax if we have such a low exemption, and the estate tax, by the way, is not cheap. If you have an estate tax in the state, which Jersey, let's say, okay, it's phasing out, but in New York next door, the top level is 16% from the state.
Wow.
Then you have a 40% federally. If you reach that level.
That's insane.
So you've been taxed, you paid your dues, it's April 15th, and now you die.
Right.
So now, here we go again, 56%. It's insane.
That's an argument I've heard for decades. It's like, wait a minute, so, your parents worked forever, they paid taxes, they were good people, and now they die and there's another tax? Why? It never made any sense to anybody.
Exactly.
I'm glad they finally got rid of it here in Jersey, but it took a long time.
Yeah.
It really did, Natalie. It took a long time just to get to this point.
It's crazy. And now the Trump administration is talking about eradicating it on a federal level. Now, people are, might have some problems on the other side, but here's the thing. Only 1% of families actually have over an $11 million estate combined, which is what you need to have a federal estate tax.
Okay.
So it's 300 tax returns a year, but it makes up $17 billion in assets to the government.
Right.
So that's people, but you know what? If only 1% of people are being affected, why punish people who have done extraordinarily well in their life?
You're right. It all makes sense. You're right. Our guest is Natalie Alisha. She's with us here until 9 o'clock today. Phone number to say hello to her is 732-545-9282 or 888-545-9282. We're going to talk about her awesome book coming up in just a bit. And also, can you talk in the next segment and why the importance of estate planning? You told me before we went on the air, the richest woman in the world died?
Yes.
Recently.
Lillian Bennecourt 2 days ago.
Talk about a crazy estate issue. And I mentioned to you about Jerry Lewis, too, and his will.
Sure.
And 6 kids got 0 from one of the funniest men of all time. That estate is worth billions. They're not going to get anything.
And you know what? It doesn't matter because according to the laws of this state, you don't have to give your kids anything.
You're right. Interesting. We'll talk more coming up. Jersey Central traffic and weather time. It's 8:15.